Relationships between two quantitative variables R tutorial. In this R tutorial, our focus will be on creating descriptive statistics and graphs that help us explain the relationships between two quantitative variables. In today's lecture, you saw Jeff introduce scatterplots and the correlation, which measures the strength of the linear relationship between two quantitative variables. Let's take a closer look at the new data for the countries and territories around the world. We have now added two quantitative variables, GDP and HIV infection rate. In R, we will rename the columns of our dataset to reflect the new variables introduced. Jeff began to investigate the relationship between GDP and life expectancies using a scatterplot. We can create the scatterplot with the plot command, inputting the first variable, GDP, which will be on the x-axis, and the second variable, life_exp, on the y-axis. We will make sure to properly label each of the axes and give the plot a main title. And despite the complicated formula, R can easily calculate the correlation between GDP and life expectancy with the command cor. Note that it doesn't matter which order the variables are written in, unlike the plot command, where the order governs which variable is on which axis. Jeff also looked at the scatterplot between HIV infection rate and life expectancy, and found the correlation between the two variables to be negative 0.566, indicating that countries with a higher HIV infection rate tend to have a lower life expectancy. As a final example, Jeff also revisited the skeletal remains data. He presented a scatterplot of age difference versus BMI, and saw that with a correlation of positive 0.136, there seems to be almost no linear relationship between the two quantitative variables. Try to create these plots yourself with the plot command and calculate the correlations with the cor command.